And hey friends, welcome back to Everyday Us. Last week we talked about teamwork in the kitchen. This week we're packing our bags and hitting the road. That's right, let's dive into traveling as a couple. So excited about this episode.
Oh yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Mariah and this is Chickpea. Say hello, baby girl. Oh, she's gone. There you go.
Oh, my baby girl. And I am Ian, this lovely host, husband / co-host.
And as Ian mentioned earlier, we are packing our bags and we are hitting the road. For us, the airport is not our friend. And we always run into some kind of an issue. It's never just smooth sailing. I mean, it is with me by myself, but anytime we travel together, it is a hot mess express.
Yeah. It's a curse on my side. I remember traveling way back with family, with my mother, back when I was a kid, and something would always happen. Those young trips we had going to Disney World or wherever the hell. Flight delay, flight cancellation, lost baggage. I mean, you name it, it's happened to us. Happened to my side of the family plenty of times. So I'm not surprised.
And I think I'm just so great at traveling because my parents would send me on solo trips by myself. I would go to Canada by myself. I would go to England by myself. I mean, I'm meeting family, but I would travel on my own. So I'm used to navigating the airports and just like going right through. Yeah, that was my sound of me going through the airport.
Nice little independent traveler over here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for us, being together for 5 years, 5.5, we've been on quite a few trips.
Adventures.
Proud of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we love to collect Starbucks mugs. At the beginning, I would have like anyone just like bring me back a mug, and then it became too much and we decided to just collect mugs of places that we've been. Mm-hmm. And we have a beautiful collection. We will insert the photo so that you can see it here somewhere.
Boom.
But yeah, we love collecting our Starbucks mugs and traveling to new places. We'll get into vacations versus trips that you love to say. I think everything is a vacation, but for you're like, no. Do you want to give them our definition or your definition of what a vacation versus a trip is?
Versus traveling. But yeah, vacation, I mean, it's in the name. It's vacation. It's relaxation. It's unwinding. It's not having any schedules, just relaxing. Pure relaxation, vacation. Traveling, however, like for instance, ski trips, not a vacation. That is a trip. You are waking up early, you are skiing all day, you're dead tired come 3-4 o'clock. The most you can do after a day like that is just have a cocktail and go to bed by like 9:30. Because you have to get up early the following day. See, that's a trip, not vacation.
Okay.
Vacation, all-inclusive, no itinerary. The only question is, do I wake up at 10 or noon? Do I start drinking at 10? Do I start drinking at noon? And that's it.
All right.
Honestly, that's vacation. Yeah. Relaxation, being on the beach, being somewhere cozy, being in your element and just unwinding, leaving the phone in your bag, not even looking at it. Like when we went to Bahamas, we literally did not look at our phone for, I think, like 2 days.
That was great.
Love that. So that's my difference, I'd say. Yeah.
I love a little bit of both whenever we go away. Have a little relaxation, but then also some adventure, discover new things. But I do like not being on a schedule when you're on vacation. You know, your girl loves to sleep. So
oh my God.
Whenever I can get my sleep in. But I try not to sleep when I'm on vacation because you can sleep at home. I can sleep in Jersey.
You'll sleep through the whole vacation, honestly. Like,
if you give me the opportunity to.
Like, sleep by the pool, sleep on the beach, sleep somewhere with a view at least. Yeah, for my sake.
Right. But from the jump, you and I dating, we always wanted to go places and be adventurous. And I remember, I think we were only seeing each other for like 3-4 weeks at this time, and I had a trip planned to Bali. And I was so nervous about going because you and I had just met and things were going so well, and I didn't want to go all the way across the world and you meet someone else and forget about me. And I was just so nervous about that because I was gone for like quite a while, a couple of days.
2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But you were good. You were still, I think you called me like every other day when you were out there or something like that. And
I know, I probably
it was nice. I love that. I was like, okay, she's still interested. She's not out there, doing whatever the hell. She still wants to communicate, keep in touch. And I love that. I was like, okay, this is great. Why not?
I'm surprised you answered and you wanted to continue talking. But I think a great thing before leaving, it was your idea. You booked a trip for us.
I booked that trip.
And we were only dating, like I said, for 3 weeks. And you're like, let's go on a vacation.
Yeah, little end of summer, once you get back, trip anywhere. But before you left, we did have that little trip to, went to the mountain park, I think. Went to Mountain Creek.
But those are like day
was
trips.
Nice. That was a day trip, of course, yeah. But I think that was the reason why immediately I was like, I can't wait for her to get back. We need to plan something together. Like that day we went to the water park. Like that was it. That sold me. I was like, I'll be patient. I'll wait. I'll be like Chickpea waiting for her food. I'll be waiting for you to get back and just surprise me with that smile again.
And boy, was it a great reunion coming back to each other.
Yeah. But that trip we took when you got back, it was end of August, Airbnb. Which beach was it? With Belmar, I think, in New Jersey, Jersey Shore.
Somewhere down the shore.
Booked it on Airbnb. Not too many places available, of course, because
it was a last minute
thing. And this is an example
Let's
of paying
not say
attention. Oh, excuse me. This is on me. Well, I shared the property that we're going to be staying at, and you missed it as well as me. We didn't know until later on.
We didn't realize it until we got there.
We didn't realize until we got there, of course. But then later on, we looked at the fine detail of the reservation right there at the very bottom, shared with host. Missed that bullet point. We show up, meet the woman, very nice woman, nice kitchen, nice property, nice house. And she's like, yeah, I guess I'll, you guys get in, you guys check in, be cozy, and I guess I'll see you when I see you. And we were kind of just like, okay, like, yeah, I guess we'll see you when we leave or something like that. And she just went right into her bedroom, and we looked at each other like, I guess she's here with us. Okay, let's tiptoe.
And she had a son.
Oh, my God, yeah.
A teenage boy. So it's just like us in her, like, attic.
Mm-hmm.
And
her attic apartment.
But there wasn't, like, a separate entrance, so you had to go through their front door.
Right through the front door, yeah.
And walk through their house to get to the attic. And I don't know how they did it. Like, I don't know if I can allow strangers in my home while I'm just like chilling on my couch and they just casually come in and then go to the room. Like, they would have to have like a separate entrance and do their own thing. But yeah, they were there, and you and I went out, and I think we went out to dinner, and you officially asked me to be your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true.
And so we had lots of drinks. We came home, and her son was just chilling on the couch. And little tipsy me thought it would be a great time to just like have a conversation with this kid. And you went upstairs to bed, and I am still downstairs talking to this little boy. And I think he was going to see like airplanes, like special like airplanes with his mom the next day. There was like some kind of a show or something.
Show. Yeah.
And I wish my lips were just like, I was just blabbering the entire time. And Ian's like, you want to come up to bed? I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking to a child while intoxicated.
Yeah. And I forgot you were even talking to him. I thought you were in the bathroom for some reason.
No,
so I went upstairs, did what I had to do, laid on the bed, and then I passed out, woke up, noticed you still weren't up there, and I was like, okay, like, did this guy just, like, he just steal my girl? Like, what the hell just happened here? Like, And then I
No,
hear you slowly
none of
coming
that.
up the stairs, and I was like, okay, thank God. But for a second, I was like, shit. And then that trip, we got written up on the beach. Remember that?
Was it that trip?
Yeah, it was that trip. We had open alcohol. I forget what the hell we were drinking. Oh yeah, I brought the solo cups, I think.
No, it wasn't
solo
even
cups.
that. I think we had it in like a coffee cup or something. But there was a group of people behind us who got caught. And so the officers were like lingering around. And so I guess they were just like, all right, I'm quite sure there's something else in that cup other than, because we knew not to do like actual red solo cups, but we had it in another cup.
We had it,
and they were like, oh, is that alcohol? Can you empty it out? And we're like, no. And they're like, if you lie to us, it's just going to be worse. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, why? Like, why are you, like, we're not causing a scene.
It killed the day. It killed the entire vibe. Like,
Jersey
took away the
Shore,
relaxing.
do better, okay? I
mean,
just want to be on a beach. Why do we have to pay to enter the beach? And then you're policing me if I drink or not on the beach. Let's do better, Jersey.
Yeah. And I remember when he was writing the ticket, I straight up looked at him and he said, like, next time for next time you're here. And I was like, it's funny because there's never going to be a next time. Like, you just lost money now and into the future. I mean, you made money, obviously, off this damn ticket, but no return customers here. Like, we are gone. Belmar, thumbs down, never again.
10 out of 10 would not recommend.
And it ruins the time. Like, you can't enjoy being on the beach.
Yeah, we were
even like
sourpuss the entire time.
We were sourpuss, and then we went to the beach, like, I don't even know, like, following summer, and, like, wherever the hell we went, it was the same thing. There was beach police. Obviously, we were wise. We knew what not to do. But all day while on the beach, they were just up and down, just peeking into different, like, beach private
like
areas, just bags and coolers and
stuff.
peeking over your shoulder to see what you're drinking, and just it was just
like,
annoying.
can we
like
relax?
it was really annoying. And I mean, it just sucked because compared to like beaches in Florida where you could literally drive onto the beach, have a keg in your car. No one pays you any mind. No, it's fine. Like, it's whatever. You don't even have to pay to go to the beach. You can still do all that, but Jersey Shore just
Florida
sucks.
has one thing going for them, and it's their beaches.
Yeah. Belmar, never again.
But I think we do pretty well with traveling when it doesn't involve like an airplane, like camping. We're like
Short distance trips we've mastered.
We're great. We have it down to a T, like from our mattress to the sheets, pillows. If we go camping, we have all of our utensils and pots and pans and everything, you name it. Like, we are set. So,
Shout out to my father for prepping me really well throughout the years. So, shout out. Love you, Dad.
My family was not going camping, so.
Well, my family will never do it again now. We're all just too old, and
But now we go camping. And
exactly.
we have friends that we bring camping, and it's great. We have a pretty solid group now, and I'm excited for next year.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We're going to have to do 3 nights.
I don't know about that.
And
we'll see.
We did learn through camping that always pay attention to the forecast.
Right.
We will never go, even if there's a 30% chance of rain, cancel. Push it to the next weekend. Let's get that credit.
Because we try to tough it out and be like, oh, we're nature people. We're fine. It's okay.
But
a little
once
rain,
everything
what
gets
is it?
muddy and wet,
nope.
it's
not us.
whole different experience.
Not
honestly.
I, said the fox.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But we still love it.
We do. We also
All
do
the gear in
some
the world.
glamping. Not always, but we have a tent. We sleep in a tent.
Yeah.
Not in a sleeping bag. I sleep on an air mattress. Nonetheless, still in a tent.
Bougie.
Rude. But do you want to talk about the first time I met your extended family?
Yeah, that was Utah. That was our first, I guess, like flight together. Yeah. And I remember my uncle invited me, and this was very early on. Like, we were I think you just got back from Bali, or maybe I even asked you before you went to Bali if you'd be interested in this.
I don't know.
No. I think I hinted at it before you went to Bali. But once you were officially my gal, then I opened up the trip to you, let you know I got the invite. We went out to Utah, first time for you ever being on a ski resort, any ski resort, let alone Park City, Utah. I mean, my goodness, I
know, never been skiing or snowboarding. Let's just go straight out west. You
insisted on snowboarding. Like, I had family skis, the whole family skis. We had equipment to give you, lessons to teach you, and all this wisdom to help guide you. And you were just like, yeah, thank you. No, I'm going to snowboard.
I moved to the beat of my own drum. Ever since I was a youngin', I've always wanted to snowboard. I remember watching like the Winter Olympics and like seeing it on TV, and I thought that it was so cool. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to flip and then go back down and flip and then go back and flip. I don't know. I just think it's so cool. Even though I'm afraid of the terrain park and haven't been yet, but I will get out there and do it. But I am surprised that we are still here to tell this story, because being on the mountain is not for the weak. I've cried. I've had the wind knock out of me. Didn't even know it was possible. Like, legit just stopped breathing and just cried. And the only way down is through. And it's just... Yep. It is not for the weak. And I thought that I was going to be great because I'm very athletic. Like, I grew up playing sports and I'm very like limber and like I have a great balance, but snowboarding humbled me a lot. But your girl is pretty decent. I think I am a solid blue-green. I've graduated from green. Your girl, I got that. Blue, yes. Last season, I dabbled into black for the very first time, and no. Tree snowboarding, tree skiing, no.
It's hard on a snowboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm not afraid of, like, was it moguls? Is that what it's called?
Moguls, yeah.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I just go slip and fall. Get back up. A little whoosh, whoosh, fall. Today's all about the sounds. Whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh.
But
if only it was that during that first run we did in Park City. Because I remember that was the longest run ever. Like, but the way these mountains are designed, they're counterintuitive. To get to a blue or a green, you need to go past a black.
Right.
And I remember the first run we did in Park City, we looked at the trail map, and I realized, like, oh crap, in order for us to get to where Mariah needs to be, to pick up on her basics, we need to go through, like, basically, like, the gauntlet of black diamonds. And you went through it, but I remember looking at you being like, okay, like, just
yeah, we approached like a big old, like, fishbowl type thing, and I'm like, I have to go down that? I'm like, how? When? Where?
You shaved the whole way. You shaved
the whole time.
Oh my God, the entire trail, all the way down.
Like, the whole time. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
But we survived the mountain, and literally right after that trip, I think COVID hit. So we were stuck at home, not living together at the time, but we were always like over each other's places. And we thought that it would be a great idea to go on vacation in the middle of COVID, because why not? And we thought that, hey, let's go to Puerto Rico for our 1-year anniversary in August. And people were telling us not to do it, but we were like, it's fine, it's okay. We got an Airbnb, got to Puerto Rico, and everything was shut down, and they were not playing games. There was a curfew.
You couldn't go to the beach?
Couldn't go to the beach at all. It was like looking at a screensaver. We stepped foot on the beach, and guys with like huge like pew-pews, were right there. 3
cops that stopped us on their motorbikes, like, get
just
the hell out of here.
Ready to like. And then Sunday, it's shut down the entire time.
Yep.
So you have to go grocery shopping the day before and prepare.
But the place we stayed was beautiful.
It was.
Like,
and
they had a nice little courtyard, your yoga stuff.
It was great.
Perfect for that.
And it was right next to the beach, but we couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Of all trips we've taken together, I fully regret that one.
And there was a hurricane.
Fully. And there was a hurricane. And, like, the curfew that was in effect was horrible. Grocery store shut down, everything. Even just, like, alcohol. Remember that? Like,
yeah.
I bought, like, I don't even know, like 3 or 4 beers. And for 2 days, I had to just milk 2 beers, I think. Remember that? Like, just pacing them out, taking baby sips here and there. Just like, okay, like, you know, like measuring it. Like, okay, how much more do I have? Like, how much longer can I last? Okay, let's make this work. That was...
Like, why?
Oh, that was no way to live. No way to live. And then
so we have to redo it.
We have to redo that. The one restaurant we did go to in Puerto Rico...
It was just basic pub food.
It was basic American pub food.
Yeah.
Like, just we didn't experience the culture whatsoever the entire time we were there. We had chicken wings and burgers, and then I think we did grocery shop the one day because we had a kitchen in our Airbnb thing. But it wasn't even, I mean, I can't remember what meal we made. It was nothing. It was all frozen. Yeah, I think you made pasta, basically. But, that trip.
So, Puerto Rico, we need to redo you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. It was just not... It wasn't fun. And even, we couldn't even get too close to the street with the Puerto Rican flag because they had it barricaded off. And so I had to Photoshop the barricades out of our photos just so that we can have that nice picture of that memory. But,
Well, we tried to go on one excursion. There was a waterfall that was like I don't even know, like a 30-minute drive. Yes. We rented a car. And it was another disappointment. The pictures showed bright blue, like fluorescent crystal water, a waterfall in the distance, you know, just all this beautiful tropical foresty area surrounding it.
The place was still beautiful. It was
still
gorgeous.
Beautiful, but the water was disgusting and polluted. Like, there was trash floating. Remember that?
I don't remember the trash.
There was some trash right there.
I do remember it was just brown and not blue. So that was disappointing.
Depressing.
But I still got great photos from there. We chilled for a while. It was really nice. So that was great, but...
Until it started to rain.
Until it started raining and we had to haul butt out of there.
Yeah. Because apparently out there, if you don't leave certain areas at a certain time before it starts downpouring, it floods and streets and bridges are completely closed off and you're stuck there. Like, you literally can't go anywhere. You have to spend the night in your car almost, depending on how bad it is. So I think there was a few locals who were telling us this last second, and we kind of looked at each other like, we need to leave now. Like,
right.
It just started raining a little bit, and for us, we just had a minor panic attack and just got out of there. And I mean, we couldn't swim anyway or do anything, so it's like, let's just get the pictures and go back, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else to do.
Literally. But we learned our lesson, and the year after that, for our anniversary, we decided an all-inclusive resort, because with an Airbnb, at least if you were at an all-inclusive, they were still allowed to use their beaches and, like, use their pool, and we just couldn't do that. So we were like, no more Airbnbs. Let's just get a hotel, do a resort, and just chill there and book excursions.
In my mind, all inclusives, that's vacation. That's what you need. That is what you need. Not the worrying about dinner or lunch or breakfast. Everything's right there. I mean, it would be nice if the little, like, excursions that they have, like, on the beach, like jet skiing and paragliding, all that crap. It'd be nice if at least that was included. Like, I always hate how, like, you need to have, like, a bankroll of cash to do any of these little things. And you're just like, God damn.
We have paddle boards. So now we are going to bring our boards whenever we go to the resorts, and you can't say nothing. We're going to be out there in that ocean with our paddle boards and just living it up, because why would I pay $80 just to use the paddleboard? And remember, I think we did that in Jamaica. We purchased the paddleboard, and then we could only go in the barricaded,
like 10 feet.
And I'm like, basically where everyone is swimming, that is where you can go. And it just like wasn't worth it. So we're bringing our own boards and we are going out there. We will purchase life jackets.
Yes.
Because being out there in the big sea, you know, safety first, people. But Jamaica was a great time. And now that is a 10 out of 10 would recommend if you haven't been to Jamaica.
Absolutely. Montego Bay. Yeah, the place to be. And anytime you go to an all-inclusive or something like that, and we always do this. We did this in Jamaica. We did this in Bahamas. We'll get to Bahamas soon. But we brought these like floaties, like these little like floaty chairs that you put in a pool or something. And that was amazing. Like just blowing that up, going way out there, just holding hands, maybe having a drink if possible. Very difficult. And just relaxing, just being away from everybody else, you know.
And see, now we can do it with the paddle boards.
And now we can do it with the
paddle boards will be more sturdier.
We've upgraded our game.
We can put drinks on there. But we started a trend. So whenever we would go to a resort, people would see us with our floaties and see us just like chilling, hanging out. And they're like, wait, that is definitely a vibe. And then they'll go to like the gift shops and buy floaties. And then also you see people on the beach with their floaties and just chilling. And what we love to do at the end of each trip, we find a couple or a child, if there's like children there, to give our floaties to, because we're not gonna like bring it back with us. And
most of the time they find us and just ask, and we're like, oh well, this is our last day, here you go. Right.
So that's always worked out well.
Oh god, Jamaica was a great time. Great time. But the one thing I will say that was slightly annoying, all the little beach vendors that would come up to you constantly, like, oh, buy a bracelet, buy this necklace, oh, like, you want joints, have a joint. You're like, guys, please, I'm just trying to relax here, just thank you, take that noise over there. But oh my god, yeah, that was the one annoying thing. But still great culture.
I know. I miss
and then we did one excursion. Remember this excursion? We were supposed to do like a tour of the island. And this young kid, was supposed to pick us up at a certain time, and he was 3-4 hours late.
Oh my goodness!
3 to 4 hours late on a gorgeous day, and we were just dressed. We were ready for this trip. We had our bags packed. We had our hats on, waiting for this guy. And if we knew he was going to be running on Caribbean time, goddamn. We could have spent the day.
Right.
Gone to the beach, chilled at the pool. We were just patiently waiting for this guy. Hey, I'll be there soon. I just dropped somebody off. I'm around the corner. 4 hours later, this guy shows up. So easy to say. We did not give him the best tip. But
no.
Yeah. And on top of that, because of COVID, they cut the itinerary in half for that trip.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
so
we were supposed to see this, that. The second he picks us up, he tells us, like, oh, half the stuff you're supposed to do, done. Like, we can't do that anymore because of COVID. So
did we get a refund? No.
Oh, like, we get a refund? Like, are you going to find something else to do instead? No, we're just going to do this. And then he took us to some old, what was it? It was a church.
It was a church,
Yeah. It was a parish. That's what they call it. Yeah, it was a parish with a beautiful view. And that was it. After that, we just... brought us back to the hotel, and we're like, okay, that was a waste. That was
a waste, yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming back from Jamaica, you got your passport taken away.
Oh, my
Trying to enter the U.S.
Cross-contamination. Or, no. I think... It wasn't cross-contamination. It was a foreign... contamination or something.
You had a beef patty.
I had a beef patty. I should have thrown away on the damn plane.
And they took away and then they took it for a while, but they let you go and get your baggage, and then we had to go back to them to get your passport back.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I remember just it happened so quickly. The guy, like, I got through. He checked my passport, stamped it. Okay. Oh, that beef patty. Where'd you get that? Was that in Jamaica? Without even thinking. Yeah. I just didn't finish on the airplane. Oh, takes my passport out of my hands. You can get this. Talking to that guy over there. You have a foreign contamination that we need to go through. And I remember just being in shock. Like, I didn't even want to tell you. I turned to look at you, and I was just like, that just happened. Yeah. So I'm like, we can't leave. They just took my passport, by the way. So let's just just chill out. Let me go talk to these people real quick. And luckily it was like 5 minutes and then they gave it back to me. But
what luck, babe? That was just insane.
That luck was bad. I'm just remembering now, before we even got to Jamaica, I had that issue going through security check where I tried to bring a foldable, what was it, a cornhole set. Mm-hmm. And there's these little spikes in the cornhole set, and they thought they could be a weapon, which they could be. I mean, the guy wasn't wrong. So he saw that. He took that from me. I had to do the whole, song and dance explaining that, I'm not that type of person. It's just there for vacation, blah, blah, blah. But in the heat of it all, I ended up leaving, rushing to the gate. You weren't with me. You were in Florida flying from a bachelorette. So I was just by myself. I get to the gate, and I'm just going through all my stuff. And I realized, because I had to go through this, extended search, I totally forgot about my iPad and my JBL speaker. Yep. I just left it there and totally blanked. And I remember sitting by the gate. I go to check my bag, immediately realized I left everything at security. And then when I went to go get up to go walk back to security, they called my group for the flight. And I remember just like looking both ways, like, And then I went to go talk to the guy, being like, hey, can I just power walk to go get my stuff real quick? I left it in security. And the guy was not having it. He was like, we will leave you. I promise you. So I got on that flight and just had a pure anxiety attack. Like, I just lost my iPad. I just lost a JBL speaker. First day. And yeah, I remember seeing you when we finally touched down in Jamaica in Montego Bay. And I just looked at you like, I'm not even going to tell you what I've been through. Let's get to the resort. Let me pound a drink or two, and then I'll explain. Yeah. Yeah. So that was...
but it all worked out for you in the end, surprisingly. We got back, and you were able to get everything back. Lost and found. That does not happen.
That does not happen.
But see, when you're a good person and you have all that good karma, you get your stuff back.
Yeah. And I remember, just so I wouldn't fully stress on the trip, I think I ordered like a pre-owned similar JBL speaker, just so at least I could be somewhat happy.
Exactly. And,
oh my God. Yeah. Jamaica.
I know, right?
Jamaica. Montego Bay people. Go.
Oh my God. I'm thinking about the time that we went to Vail and we thought that it would be okay to drive in the middle of a snowstorm, because we're like, oh, it snows in Jersey, like we can handle it. And I called a girlfriend of mine who lives in Colorado, and we were telling her that we're going out to, not even Vail, we went past Vail, we were going to Glenwood Springs, and there's only like one highway to take you to the mountains over there. And she was like, I think you guys should just come over and just stay here and wait it out until the next day. Like, it's a really bad snowstorm. It's going to be really dangerous. I don't think you guys should do it. And I'm like, girl, like, it's fine. We have 4-wheel drive. It's all good. Like, come on. Yeah.
Couldn't be more wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. And this is also a time where I should have just paid more attention to the itinerary, because I did not realize how long of a damn drive it was going to be from Denver to Glenwood Hot Springs. It was a 3
I think it was a 3-hour ride alone. After our long flight.
After our long flight, legs were already linguini, and here I am having to do this ridiculously long drive. And the snowstorm was horrific. We got into it with a local.
It was bad.
Yeah, before we went on the trip, we got into it with a local who just didn't know how to drive. Actually got out of his car
and approached us. Oh my gosh, it was so scary. I've never had someone approach us, get out of their car. And honestly, everyone be safe. Like, road rage is real, and you never know what's going on with that other person. They could have a weapon or anything. But yeah, luckily he just came out and just like yelled.
Yeah.
He was like, what do you want me to do? Drive?
Yeah. He did not have the right mind either. That guy was mentally ill.
Right. But going on that trip, we should have listened to our friends and not drive in the snow, because we could not see 5 feet in front of us. And I just thought we were going to like drive off of the edge or something, but that was
Well, that's all we
scary.
saw during the drive.
Yeah.
We saw like 6 cars in the snow, one car that like was like tipped over almost, a number of cars that skid out in front of us, just swirled, just fishtailed. We're like, oh my God, that's going to be, I think I fishtailed a few times. I couldn't figure out
The windshield.
the windshield wiper. It was in that, what did we rent? It was a Dodge Durango, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love this for my next car. It was so nice. But the damn windshield
I mean,
cleaner,
really
windshield wiper
YouTube
cleaner,
how to use
couldn't
it
figure
because
out.
we couldn't figure out like where
Yeah.
it was or what the button. Not until the last hour
You
of the
pulled out
drive.
the manual from the glove compartment, read through the whole thing, and I was like, no, just YouTube it. YouTube
Yeah.
it. We need this now. We might die. Okay, look at all the buildup on the windshield. And
It was bad.
that was hands down the most dangerous drive.
So scary.
Yeah,
So glad we're alive.
but it was a good time.
It was a
Damn
good time.
Some good skiing. Glenwood Hot Springs, fantastic. Show photos. We'll show photos.
Yeah. We'll do that.
They'll
We'll
pop up.
try. And then I decided to relax and take a break from the planning and leave it up to my amazing boyfriend at the time to plan our trip. And where did you decide to take us for 4th of
Fort
July?
Lauderdale, baby. Was it 4th of July?
Yeah,
it was 4th of July. Yes. Fort Lauderdale. But we already had a number of things going on that year. I mean, we had, the Glenwood Hot Springs, and we were going to Bahamas. So this was like a post my brother's wedding type trip, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we did this. This was literally like a week after my brother got married. I just planned like a 3-day trip to Fort Lauderdale because it was nice. And I was like, why not? And, definitely pay attention to the reviews. That's the only lesson I
Not
learned.
even to the review. Like, this man,
Oh my God, here it is.
Here
it is.
brought me to a motel. Okay? Not a hotel.
Holiday Inn. Okay.
A motel. Now, my mama done took me around the world so that no dusty boy will take me to Florida. And nonetheless, freaking a motel. So we get to this motel. It's late at night. And again, I just like let him do the thing because when
Breakfast included, baby.
when I plan, this guy gets to shut his brain off. He doesn't have to think. He doesn't have to care. He doesn't have to look at any reviews because I've done it all. I've done my research. I've done my homework. Okay. So it would be nice for my man to plan a trip and I just sit back and show up and look cute. Okay. I understood my assignment. He did not. So we show up to this motel and it smells like it smells. It's moldy, it's gross, the toilet wouldn't flush. It was just, the room just felt wet. It was, I think because we went out with friends and so we got to the place pretty late. I think after 12, and I just could not sleep. The second that the sun came up, I was like, yo, go, you have to go.
No, we
You need
switched
to figure
rooms,
it out.
and then we had to leave after
Yes. Okay. This man still thought that it was okay to just switch rooms instead of getting to another place. And I'm like, no, like, I am not staying here. We need to leave. Like, I felt so disgusted. I couldn't, even when we went to the new place, I felt itchy. I felt like there would be like a roach like in our bags. Like it was gross. I felt disgusted. And honestly, it kind of ruined the trip for me. It was hard for me to relax. And this man was never allowed to plan a trip again until this year. And we will get into that.
And granted, I did share the hotel or the motel
I don't know about that.
before we left. So she was fully aware we were looking, where we were going. She looked at everything. Was like, okay, why not? And to counter all the negativity, the location was bomb. I will say that. Like, we had restaurants walking distance. We had the what was it? The Florida Sea, whatever the hell, beach area. I forget what the hell it's called. But that was right down the street. That was like a 10-minute walk. So that was nice. The area was great. And then the second hotel we had to go to. Okay, she's laughing. She's laughing at me. The second hotel we went to, I thought was fantastic.
The second hotel that I chose, of course,
It was across
great.
the street. It was across
great.
the street.
It was across the street and down the corner. Okay. So it was, we learned our lesson, and Ian is just not allowed. And that was back
my
in
first time. Lessons learned.
2022. So he hasn't been able
will not be my last.
to do that again. And then we went to Florida again a little bit later that year. And we were heading back home. And we were rushing to get to the airport because it was like an early, like 6 a.m. flight. And again, we were coming from a wedding, so we were pretty like hungover from that. And we get to the airport, and normally back then they would do like, if one person has pre-check, then they'll give it to everyone in your party so that you guys can travel together. That was not the case. They were really like cutting on that. Like, no, everyone needs to get pre-check. And now I thought it was in my Hinge dating profile that must have TSA pre-check to date me.
In your profile. That's actually funny. I'm going to remember that later. I'm going to laugh at that.
Clearly not, because someone did not. So we had to separate. I was like, okay, so I'll get to the gate and I'll just try to hold down the fort. I'm going to hold the plane, okay? They're not going to leave because I am there. Young Mariah thought that she was the queen of the world and she can just do that. So he was on the line for security, and I am talking to people at the desk saying like, hey, like, my boyfriend is online. He's trying to get here. She's like, okay, don't worry. It'll be fine. All right, cool. We get on the plane. I'm calling Ian. I'm like, how close are you? How close? Like, we just boarded. I told them. She's waiting. She keeps coming back to me, one of like the stewardess, and she's like, do you know like how much longer? And I'm like, he's trying to go through. He's trying. And then more people were like, because it wasn't just you. There were other people who were like coming, and they were like running late. And every time I would just look at the door, just hoping that it would be your face coming through, and it wouldn't. And she's like, I'm sorry, but we have to leave. And I just remember calling you, and I'm like, sugar, I am sitting on this plane, and she's telling me that they are closing the doors. And you were like, oh, but like you were with like a group of other people too.
Yeah, I was with like 4 other people going to Newark. And at this point, I remember you telling me like, okay, well, do what you have to do. Like, grab your bag, walk through the crowds, tell people you need to get to your flight. And I'm like, like you said that.
And you were
I look at the people in front of me. I'm like,
that's not happening. And I'm like, Ian, you need to talk to someone. You need to get here. It did not happen.
I tried for a second. I got past, I think, like 4 people. And then a few people just turned and looked at me. And I was like, I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. Like, this was just, it's rough. It's not easy to do that. Just barrel your way through all these people who are already stressed out with their delays. Yeah. And here you are being that schmuck, being like, okay, I know you guys are delayed, but I'm more important than you. Get out of the way so I can get there. And like, there was a lady on my flight who's even more aggressive than me, being like, I need to get through. I need to get through. I'm not missing this. My flight literally is waiting on me right now. And security was basically like, that's fantastic, but you're gonna have to wait. Like, she got through the entire crowd, the entire meandering line, and then security shut her down, being like, no, like, you made it this far, but now you're gonna wait. And she missed her flight. And it was more than anything, though. yes, you had TSA pre-check, so it was easy for you. And because of that, you were just so nonchalant before the flight. Like, you chilled with your best friend at the time
morning.
for the long.
There was no chilling.
Like,
there was no chilling. At 6 a.m.
we need to get to the airport.
No.
And you're like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. No. We're good. Like, we got to the airport.
Look at this guy trying to make it seem better for him
before the flight. No. Okay, Miss TSA over here is like, yeah, it's no worries for me. It's gonna take 5 minutes. Oh, he's basic.
And the only reason why I stayed on the flight was because we both had work that day. So I'm like, we both cannot miss work. Like, I have to get back. And we were right there in Florida. My best friend was right there, so you could have easily went to his place.
That was a stress fest.
But you got on the very next flight. So
I got on the next flight, and this is another reason why. Yes, you're good at booking everything. But if I had paid more attention, I had no idea we were flying back on a Monday until you told me after we were already in Florida.
See, this
and I'm
is-
like, what, excuse me?
Should pay attention.
You have to understand with her, when she books everything, she does not share anything.
That is not true. I have full itinerary,
Nope,
everything
nope.
printed.
I didn't have
You
any of the
just
flight
didn't
information.
care.
And then when she tells me, oh, we're flying back Monday, I remember just like my jaw dropping. Like, I have a meeting at 10, I have all this stuff. Like, I'm not making any of that crap now.
I mean,
and
back
that's
in
exactly
the
what
day,
happened.
I used to milk my time off. It's like, what? Oh, I have work at 9? Great. I will land at 7 a.m. and make sure I'm there on time.
That was rough. That was And
But-
speaking even more of this,
What?
by the way, because after I missed that flight and you were already gone, once again, I had no information about the flight. All I had was just my ticket. So to go and argue about how you missed your flight and how you need to be rebooked without
yes.
any of the information, and you were already in the air. I couldn't text you, I couldn't call you, I couldn't do anything. All I had was my ticket. You had all the other information. So to try to argue with them, not argue, but like explain my situation, they're like, okay, can I see the confirmation number? Here's my ticket. Okay, can I, like, what car did you purchase it with? Here's my ticket. Whose name is this under? Is my ticket? Is that how? So at one point she's like, "Can you wait here?" And just walked away. And I remember being like, "Damn, might as well call your best friend and just spend the night at his place because I am months down here." And
Yeah.
luckily she came back. She's like, "Listen, it's okay. You're good. You and like a dozen other people missed the flight. They're all staying behind you. Just get out of our way and we'll rebook you." And I was like, "God bless you. God
Yeah.
bless you." Oh God, that was great.
But the lesson that was learned, my guy has global entry.
Have global entry and to pay attention to where my wife books flights and travel arrangements. So I'm not at the airport, kind of, looking left, looking right, being like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm ready for whatever happens, and then being screwed.
So if you do not have TSA pre-check or clear global entry, whatever else they have, you need to get on it because
share
it is
travel
2025.
Share travel information with your loved ones and friends. Hee hee, I guess. So yeah, that was that. And then we had our magical trip in Bahamas shortly after. And
The
that was
best
flawless.
of the
Absolutely
best.
flawless.
Yes, because someone had their global entry.
I had my global entry and I proposed to you, which was fantastic. And that went off
Duh.
very well. And completely surprised you. Other than the fact that my grandmother kind of ruined it like
We don't
months
have to throw
earlier.
her
But we don't
under
need to
the
get
bus.
into that. We don't need to get into that. Love you, Grandma.
We love you.
But yeah, Bahamas was fantastic. We went to Nassau,
Amazing.
stayed at
20 out of 10.
stayed at Atlantis. What was it called?
It was great.
Paradise Island or something like that. Yeah, Paradise Island.
I don't know. We had a blast. We loved it. Besides him proposing, the water was blue. We swam with the pigs
Yeah,
and the sharks.
and the iguanas,
The iguanas. They're cute.
nurse sharks, by the way.
Yeah, and then my dad was like so rude, saying, "Oh, you should bring that iguana so I can make curry out of it." Guyanese people, stay away from iguanas.
I mean, it actually does sound amazing.
Oh my God, stop. No. Save the animals. But Bahamas, amazing time. We enjoyed it. And I can't wait to take our kids there and go to Atlantis and go on the water
Atlantis is
park.
so nice.
Oh my gosh. The
We snuck
water
in.
park.
The second day, remember that?
All right, we didn't have to tell them that
Oh
we
my God, well,
snuck in.
that's whatever.
If you want to know how to sneak
If
in.
you want to know, ask us in the comments.
But now we're gonna be banned. It was great. We loved it. I was going down every slide with my hands in the air, big smile. Young Mariah was living because growing up, I would always see the commercials for it and that huge slide, and my parents never took me to the Bahamas, so I was just living my best life, and I cannot wait to go again.
But next time we go, you need to. What do all girls do? You get the beads when you get your hair braided out there. That was like, I remember that way, like elementary school. You could always tell who came back from Bahamas because they always had their hair beaded,
Yeah.
and they're also sunburns as hell. But yeah, that was it. That was it.
Meanwhile, my mom just always braided my hair as a protective style.
Bahamas. That was, yeah, truly amazing. Nothing negative.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
That was a
Food,
vacation.
everything. The weather, everything was fantastic.
Pure
honestly.
vacation.
Pure vacation. Yeah. And the flights were flawless. There was no hiccups here or there, no delays, no cancellations.
Short flight.
Yeah. Short flight. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
But
the only negative was just all the weight I put on.
Oh, I was like, what? Wait,
that was it. That was it. Nobu was fantastic. We hit the casinos there.
Yes. We went to Nobu there. That was nice.
But we had that nice dinner at Nobu, and then we kept our engagement a surprise. We didn't tell anybody for, I say, like 3 days, 2 days, 3 days.
Mm-hmm. And I really recommend that because when Ian proposed, it was so emotional. Like, I don't know. I can't speak for all females, but for me, it's just like a moment that you've always thought of. For me, I don't want to say every woman, but I've thought of like, what would my husband look like, or how would I get proposed to? And it was just, and especially getting proposed to by such an incredible man. I was just so emotional, just crying, and I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden it'll hit me like, oh my goodness, we're getting married. Like, someone wants to marry me and loves me for me. And I just love how free and easy I can be with you. And it's just like this quote unquote perfect relationship is, it'll last. Like, this is it. So I just wanted to bottle that up and hold on to that moment without other people getting in the way. And I'm so glad that we did, because when we did decide, I did the thing that every girl does. FaceTime their friends, just like waiting.
And you had a few friends who just couldn't get a clue. Just looking at you like, okay, your hair, your lips,
like
what?
Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I was like, okay, let me send you a photo. And they're like, what's up with the photo? You're so cute. Oh, and I'm like, look.
Yeah.
And then they all freaked out. We only had one negative Nancy who did not appreciate us getting engaged. I called them and they were just like, okay, Anne. Needless to say, that person is no longer in our life. They weren't invited to our wedding. We no longer speak. And you can imagine how close we would be if I would have to like call you while I'm on vacation to give you this news. And you just react like, why are you on my phone? Say less. And now you're not in my life. Hi.
Well, there it is. There it is. Okay.
Women.
But no, that was beautiful. The whole proposal process, I completely had to change up last second. I had a plan. I mean, you always wanted me to propose to you, or you always wanted to wake up with the ring on your finger. That's how you dreamed.
Like I said, I love to sleep.
That was your fairy tale dream.
So what better than waking up from your sleep and just
But I also was worried because it's the diamond, and depending on how you slept, and if you went to go scratch your forehead or something, I didn't want to cut your nose or lip or anything. So I was kind of just like, I don't know about that. But I was going to try, but then I had to completely change it up because somebody, of course, just decided to not sleep. It was with the flying, and I don't know, but like, I mean, we did have an espresso martini the night before.
We did.
Which could have kept you up, but somebody was up at like, I think like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, on the balcony, FaceTiming her mother, showing her everything. And I'm like, okay, well,
I was just so excited.
I can't do it now because she's already up. So let me think about this. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then
you just like, can you please come back to bed?
Yeah, I was like
let's
get back in bed, let's lay down.
It's our first
and then
full day.
I completely changed it up. But when you were out there on the patio talking to whoever, I was like, just thinking in my head, like, okay, you can't slip it on her finger anymore. What are you going to do now? I had something planned later on with a photographer. Mm-hmm. So time was of the essence. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I remembered you got your nails recently painted. And I remember you telling me your mother was not a fan of it. She hated the color or design or whatever the hell. So we were in bed, and I'm just like, let me see your fingers. Let me see what your mother was so upset about. Like, what's going on? And I'm looking at your fingers. I'm like, oh, there it is. Like, that's the issue right there. Look at this. And you're like, what? I'm like, oh my God, what? And then I just pulled my hand over the pillow.
Yeah, you're like, it's
already
missing
holding the
something.
ring, and just slip it on. I'm like, now that looks better. And of course, I had the camera, I had the phone in the corner of the room, recording the whole thing, and it was perfect.
He understood
Absolutely
the assignment.
Perfect. Understood. And then immediately after, I was like, okay, we're engaged. Yes, unbelievable. Go change. We need to leave in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, because we had engagement photos at this beautiful botanical garden. And it's so funny because I sent him the garden. And I was like, I really want to go here. It's so pretty. Not knowing that this guy already had that botanical garden set up with the photographer and everything. So we went there and we took photos. And it was just, oh my goodness, the day... I'm just smiling just thinking about that day. It was perfect. Perfect. You guys should all get engaged. It's fun. Love is great.
Yeah. And anybody worried about traveling with the ring, there's nothing to it, honestly. Like, I buried it in my suitcase, went straight through security, no issue, no...
Wait, you put it in your suitcase and checked that in?
The suitcase was with me, yeah. We didn't check any bags.
Oh.
No, it was my carry-on, excuse me, my carry-on.
Okay, I was
we didn't check any bags, it was a carry-on.
Do not check it into a bag, please. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's on your carry-on, your personal bag. Do not check it.
Yeah. And of course, knowing her over here, I made a whole video out of it. You know, I kept doing all these little teases with the ring as she's in the bathroom getting ready, putting makeup on. I would have like the ring out the door, like close it, or I would go look at her doing her makeup, then walk to my suitcase, go right to where the ring is, be like, oh, you know, thumbs up.
We will share that on socials for you guys to see that video. It was really cute.
Yeah, it was cute.
You put in so much work, baby. That was amazing.
All for you, baby.
And then we started planning our wedding, and because we love to travel so much, we decided to have a destination wedding. And we were in between Portugal, Greece, and Italy. I lied. Portugal, Italy. France, and Italy.
Yes.
Italy laughed in our face, and they're like, hee, you can't afford us. France, they took forever to get back to us. And then they got back to me and said, hey, if you want to get married like next month, we'll give you a huge discount. And I'm like, no. And then Portugal, it just worked out so well. Mm-hmm. We've never been to Portugal, but we're like, let's just do it. Yeah. So we decided in 2023, the summer of 2023, to go to Portugal, check it out, see where we would get married. And we decided to get married in Lagos, which is the south, the Algarves, south of Portugal. And it's just beautiful beaches, cliffs, incredible. And so we went there, and then we decided, oh, well, if we're in Europe, let's just go somewhere else. And we decided to go to Italy for the first time. To Italy. And I am really impressed with us because we went on this trip with just our carry-ons. Carry-ons and a personal bag. And how long were we there for? At least a week.
It was a week. I think it was 6 nights, at least.
Yeah.
But that was traveling. That was not a vacation. That was pure traveling. It was go, go, go. We were walking miles a damn day. We saw the Colosseum in Italy, in Rome. It was fantastic. But the longest line
tours
you could ever imagine.
Do it again.
Like, tours,
every
this and
single
that.
day. It was no rest.
Yeah. But we walked everywhere.
Rest.
We refused to use a bike or any of those damn scooters that they had all over the place. I was like, I'm not, no.
Yes.
No. We're not going to be those tourists. We're going to walk. We're going to burn calories, get some steps in, make room for dinner. And then we finished.
And that was great because we had pasta and gelato every single day. And we did not gain weight on that trip because we were doing so much walking.
And we were also sweating our asses off everywhere we went. It was hot.
So hot.
The Colosseum line, honestly, I almost didn't make it. I really did not almost make it. We had to take turns going to get water. Mm-hmm. And it was just brutal. Like, just you need to have.
They were selling umbrellas and fans. Yeah. It was so hot that day.
The street vendors were relentless. Like, oh, do you need this? Do you need that? Like, one guy came up. What was he selling? Umbrellas. He was selling umbrellas, and he would not leave us alone. I almost headbutted him at one point. Like, just get away from me, man. Like, I'm already stressed out enough waiting on this damn line. And then we get into the Coliseum. By then, dehydrated, heat exhausted, legs were beat. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess let's do this tour. But first, let me sit on this bench for like 40 minutes and just come back to life.
I know. We could not wait for lunch after.
Oh, God, yeah.
It was such a long day.
And if anyone does go to visit the Coliseum, go on the last Sunday of the month?
First Sunday
of the month. It is free. Longest line, though.
Yes, but it's free.
Well worth it. Well worth it.
So wake up trip. Early. Make sure you are on the line by like 7 a.m. I think it opens at like 9:30. But like that line, you need to be there early.
And bring lots of water.
Lots and lots of water.
Lots of water. And a Game Boy or something too, because it's going to be like 4 hours. I think we're on that line. 4 to 5.
It was a really long time, but again, like I said, worth it. And the photos, great, priceless. But then we came back and we went straight into wedding planning mode. In between that time, because we were getting married in Portugal, legally we have to get married in the US. So we had a special wedding in March. I ended up changing my last name to Clarkson, and I changed my social and my license, and we had a trip to Seattle right before our wedding.
For a wedding.
For another wedding.
Yeah.
So we went there. It was great. On our way back, I ran into an issue. When we booked the ticket, my name was Gibson. So the ticket had Mariah Gibson and not Mariah Clarkson, and my ID was Mariah Clarkson. So I got stopped at security, and he's like, you need to go back and change your ticket so that your name says Clarkson. And I said, okay, fine. And he said, yeah, you can come right back to me. I'll be here. So I go, I change my name, I come back, the guy's not there. Okay, fine, whatever. I give it to them. They're like, it's not working. Why? It's not working. They're scanning my ID and it won't work. It's like giving them an error. They're like, you don't have pre-check. I'm like, yes, I do. It's right here on my ticket, printed. It says pre-check. Well, it's not working here. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm showing him all the paperwork. He's looking at it. And then he's like, oh, well, it shows that this is for Mariah Gibson and your ticket says Mariah Clarkson. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm like, yes, because I just got married and my name changed, and I just went to change my ticket so that it can say Clarkson to match my ID. And now I can't go through because Mariah Clarkson does not have TSA pre-check. Mariah Gibson does. And that was my karma for leaving this man in Florida, because this girl didn't have it. So he went through.
Goes around, comes
I
around.
had to go to the normal line, and that line was so long, and I was...
With all those peasants.
I was so pissy, yeah. I was like, I have to stand in line like a peasant, like a normal person. I was so upset. I did not want to talk to Ian when I got there. It had nothing to do with him, but I was livid. I was pissed. I couldn't believe I had to stand in that long line, go through all of that. So I just made sure for our wedding, I wasn't changing anything. Like, my name is staying as Gibson. Our ticket is Gibson. TSA pre-check is Gibson. She's going to Europe as Gibson. And it worked out. But if you're getting married, please double check your tickets. Make sure your tickets have the same name. Make sure your passport, ID, TSA pre-check, clear.
Just triple check everything.
All same name.
Triple check everything.
Same name.
Yeah. And that's what led us to our most recent issue.
So, Ian, now he lost his privilege of booking our trips and planning our trips back in 2022 when we went to Florida.
I reclaimed it. I redeemed myself.
Did he?
Because that was a one-time thing, and
So he said this year he really wanted to plan his birthday / our first anniversary trip. And I was like, okay, I'll leave it to you. And now if you listen to I think it was either our first or second episode, we spoke about how he wants to go on a cruise, and I would rather go back to an all-inclusive resort because I am just not a cruise girly. I think it's a waste of time to spend majority of the time out on sea. Like, why? This is not summer camp. And there's
Summer
nothing
camp.
to do but drink and just be on a boat. And then when you go outside after drinking all day and you look around and you cannot find land anywhere because you're just in the middle of the sea, it's freaky. It's so scary. What if something happens? We're going down like the Titanic. How can someone get to us close, like quick enough? Like, too much.
Well, it is funny too, by the way. I mean, obviously you just heard that it's my birthday, my trip, but already she's restricting me to no cruises. Okay,
I'm not
fine.
restricting.
No cruises. And then I said later on, like, oh, maybe we can just go camping. I don't want to go camping. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. So the two things I want to do, I can't do for my birthday.
But whatever you want to do, we can do, babe. Anything you want.
But anything you want to do, baby, I'll do. Like, okay, say that one more time. Say that one more time. so I can
Anything
hear
you
that.
want to do, we can do. I just personally don't want to go on a cruise.
Okay.
But if you want to go on a cruise, we can go on a cruise. I just don't.
It's fine. I mean, all inclusive basically is a cruise, I think.
Yeah,
You're just
but
boozing
on
all the damn
land.
time. It's just you're on land. Yeah, you don't have to worry
Great.
about the seasickness after. But whatever.
So
I'm
we
happy.
ended up deciding to do an all-inclusive resort instead of a cruise. And tell them what you did.
Yeah, just booked in Dominican Republic, and of course I totally forgot about our previous travel issues. I mean, then again, it's been months, been 6 months since this last happened. So we finalized everything. We agreed on a place. No dictatorship. We had a conversation and found a place as a
communicated.
couple. We communicated. We had it was a
listened.
democracy, open democracy. So that was great. That was finally, that was a huge win, I think. And then I go to finalize the flight.
Mm-hmm.
And after I just confirmed the flight, I hear her from the other room, did you book it as Mariah Gibson or Mariah Clarkson? Because it can't be Clarkson. And this was literally seconds after I hit submit payment and all that crap. No, Clarkson. So then this morning, I had to be on the phone and getting them to update it. But it is such a damn pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Wrong name. You can't just go to update flight, update traveler, change the name. No. You can't do anything
You
over
have
the
to
app
cancel
or
the
online.
entire
you have to call, get them to cancel. And first I called the airline, but because I booked it through Expedia, I had to do everything through Expedia, which wasn't that bad. I mean, their travel department was pretty chill. But that was that. Avoided something that could have been another disaster at the airport. And now we're set. Now we're fine. Now we just have the months to kill off till we are airborne, heading to the all-inclusive.
Yeah, so
With our
let you
damn
know
paddleboards.
how with our paddleboards, I'm so excited. If you don't have a paddleboard, that's also something that you need to add to your list. It just gives you independence. If you're not a girly with a yacht yet, this is a great place to start, okay? Our yacht is coming. It's in the shop. It's being designed. So for now, we'll just
You
use our
pancoat.
paddleboards. But definitely get a paddleboard and go out. Go explore. Traveling is expensive. It can be a lot. And that's exactly why we decided to get our paddleboards, because we can easily go to a lake or to the beach, and it's a fun activity to just be out and not just hanging on the beach. You can float in the water, put your feet in, listen to music, just good vibes. So you do not have to break the bank to have a good time. You can go camping, you can go on a road trip. Just make it work.
Highly recommend. And keep an eye out for the deals.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's a huge one. Booking, Expedia, Trivago, usually they'll offer big discounts.
Right.
And speaking of which, answer our question from earlier. Are you a trip person or a vacation person? Tell us your wildest or most relaxing travel stories, because, we scratched the surface with ours.
And we want to know about yours. Mm-hmm. And also let us know if you have a tradition. Do you collect shot glasses? Do you collect mugs like we do? T-shirts? Let us know. We want to learn. And if you have any tips for traveling to make it smoother, we're all ears. We gave you our tips. Definitely want to make sure you have a pre-check. You want to review the places that you are staying. Because
share travel information with your friends, family, loved ones, whoever you're traveling with. Share everything.
Print it out.
Yes.
Just be organized. Make it easier for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
But thank you all so much for joining us today. It is very late. We have dinner, and Chickpea is already in her bed. She came, she did what she needed to do, and she's out. And it's time for us to be out as well.
Till next time.
Right?
Love you.
Every Wednesday, tune in. Our next episode, we will be talking about how it's very important to carve out time for yourself. We are a couple, but you are an individual, and you need to be well mentally and physically 100% as an individual so that you can show up for others. So next week, we'll talk about how we navigate that and make sure we have time for ourselves and for each other, and more importantly, for Chickpea.
I was about to say. Beautiful. Couldn't say any better myself. Until next week. Love ya.
See y'all.
See ya.
Every day,